Hello everybody, this is Gregory with Permanent Weight Loss Made Easy, where there should be no hesitancy in your weight loss and in your weight maintenance. Now today we're going to talk about using sweat and heat to your advantage. Now before we begin, if you need help with weight loss, contact me through the Clarity FM link found here in the episode notes. Check out my 2 books, which you can find on Amazon, my podcast, The Awakened Man, which you can find on Apple and Spotify. Again, there's links in the episode notes. And lastly, if you appreciate my content, there's a link for PayPal. So I live in Texas. I live in South Texas. This place gets hot. It is July, August. It's over 100 degrees or hovering around it or over it. About, you look at the 90 days between June, July, and August, we're up there at least 50 of those 90 days. It's just consistently hot. Now, I have, because of my obesity, like a thin layer of fat all through my body. We talked about it recently with the Bloopy. And so it is very hard for me to be comfortable in the heat. So for me to be comfortable, I need the AC to be at 64 at night. And so in the summer, I'm just always hot. I'm sweating all the time because I have this layer of kind of fat that insulates me. So in the winter, when I used to live in Alaska, again, go to my personal playlist here, I'd be wearing shorts at 10 degrees. I was just comfortable. Either way, some of you might live in a place that's very cold. Some of you might live in a place like California or Southern California where it's pretty much the same every day, or Hawaii is the same every day. Some of you might live in the South. Can we use heat to our advantage? Sure. And I would tell you this. I'm not saying can we use heat to our advantage to lose weight and to keep it off, but there are biohacks that occur from sweating. You think of our ancestors, they sweat quite a bit. And I think we've gone to this world to a certain extent where we're always in air conditioning from car to house, car to house, car to house. And that's not necessarily good for us because we need to sweat. Why do we need to sweat? Because there's only so many ways we can remove toxins from our body. Sure, we have the excretory system, like the urinary system, and to a certain extent, the digestive system when we defecate. But really the main way we get rid of toxins that we accumulate, whether they be environmental toxins or just toxins from the metabolic process of the body, is through urine and mostly through sweat. So we need to sweat. So what does that mean? Sweat daily. Sweat daily. Does that mean you need to go run when it's 100 degrees at 5 o'clock in the afternoon? No, not necessarily. You have to do it within reason. I love dry saunas. We have an episode here on the biohack that is dry saunas. How if you spend 20 minutes in a dry sauna 4 times a week, and the dry sauna is over 180 degrees, it cuts your all-cause mortality by 67% and your chances of getting dementia, Alzheimer's, all those things, Parkinson's, by 67% again. So again, that's 4 times a week, over 180 degrees in the sauna, and at least 20 minutes. Why? Well, heating, exercise does this too, but increased heating, thermogenesis, is a vasodilator. So it opens our arteries and our veins, so more blood flow is going to get everywhere, and we're also able to get rid of these toxins. So you need to sweat every day. I don't care how you do it. I see people at the gym, like it reminds me of wrestlers back in high school. They'll go into the steam room. Steam room doesn't give you as much effects as the dry sauna, but they'll go in with like 4 layers of clothes. And why are they doing this, right? Because they're trying to get rid of that water. Maybe they're trying to purge weight really quickly. And so the more you wear, the more you're going to sweat. Go to the episode I did on calorie in, calorie out, my disordered eating in college, where I used to starve myself from Monday to Friday and then binge eat over the weekend. This is right after I lost my weight. But right before I'd weigh myself every Friday, I would go into the steam room and just stay in there for like an hour right before I'd weigh myself. And yes, I knew on one level this was an artificially low weight, but since I was doing it every week, I felt like it nullified itself, and also it felt like, well, I knew it was going to be lower than what it really was, but it's still lower. So I'm not saying you necessarily need to do that. What I'm saying is sweating is good. Heat is good. The other thing about being in heat is if you're in direct sunlight, you're going to increase your vitamin D production. And vitamin D, low levels of vitamin D is pervasive with Americans. Major problem. Major problem. Higher rate of bone problems, higher rate of cancer. We saw with COVID that the large majority of people who died of it had low vitamin D levels. It's a major problem. So in the summer, you got to get at least 20 minutes of sunlight. It produces vitamin D. Vitamin D is actually a hormone, and it produces it, which is another great biohack. in short, why should you sweat? Well, it gives you the ancillary benefit of it being a vasodilator. It also gives you the ancillary benefit that you're essentially working out. Even if you're just walking in heat, your body's got to pump harder, your heart's got to pump harder, you get vasodilation, and you're sweating out toxins. So that will help you ancillarily with maybe losing weight, especially if you're trying to get to a weight for your weigh-in, so to speak. But in general, I would tell you, because this is all about permanent weight loss made easy, one of the things that will help you in your long-term journey is sweat every day. I cannot underestimate that. And conversely, we have an episode here on cryo. Freezing has benefits as well, but those are different benefits than the sweating, and I'll put a banner, if I remember, for that episode. Guys, post in the comments. I love to hear from you. Do try to sweat every day. I love to hear from you. Until next time, take care. God bless and pray.